What's up, guys? It's your boy Jamaica here, coming at you with another deck tech. This is my Hypergenesis list for season 25. I think there's a bunch of new things that came from this season, other than old seasons. One of them being mana based, two being Bloodbraid Elf, which is another really good Cascader, and three just being options that you could do. But that's only enabled because of the mana base, which is a big deal because Temple of Epiphany is not always around. It's rarely around, but having these sort of Scrylands is super strong. Usually Temple of Abandoned Mystery are really good, but Epiphany kind of bridges both Brepid Elf and Charlotte's Agent, which are probably the two best cascaders you could have for a list like this, into a sort of really dedicated mana base. And a lot of the times with the Hypergenesis list, you're just playing a bunch of completely uncastable things, but the whole deck can be casted. But by the way, I built this, so this is just my list for this season. But yeah, going back to the mana base, I think I started with 12 Scrylands, but I'm down to 9 here, with 4 temples, 2 abandons, and 3 mysteries. I wanted to shove in the Bivouacs here just for consistent mana base, and having a bunch of untapped lands here too in the all the forests. The deck is mostly forests, honestly, and then a single island, single mountain, and Maraudon's Core, which is fun little untapped dual land if you kind of squint hard enough. It's an old stable from the old season 6 Hypergenesis list, but it's a really good land, I think. It's an untapped land when you kind of need it, because usually your first 2 turns just lands like this, these Scrylands here, and then you just need an untapped land. Sometimes Colossus is fine, but if you play this on turn 1, you can just start charging it immediately, which is really good. Charlotte's Agent, Bloodbraid Elf, like I said, the main cascaders here, and the best thing about these cards are that they're creatures, so they also get to attack, and they also work well with Warstorm Surge, which is, by the way, if you ever really seen the sort of set that I like to do for Hypergenesis, that I like to create 3-card combos that will kill your opponent. So Hellkite, Sphinx will kill. Hellkite clone, Sphinx will kill. Hellkite clone, Warstorm Surge will kill. Warstorm Surge, double Sphinx will kill. That's just really, I don't like attacking through combat if I can help it with Hypergenesis, so I just want to try to kill people on the stack. So, and usually most of it leads around Hellkite and Master Sphinx. Warstorm Surge is pretty great too. Warstorm Surge also triggers from the creatures from the Cascaders, so that's pretty cool. And Alter Ego is kind of a cheap sort of clone, which is there are better clones. I was playing with Quicksilver Gargantuan, but it's very uncastable, and the deck, especially in the transition phase of the sideboard, is trying to cast their things, so Altered Ego is a really good spot. So yeah, what do you do though when your opponent just has a bunch of counter spells and you just 2 Hypergenesis, nothing else? Well, you want to cast your stuff and kind of bridge the gap. So Behold the Multiverse is pretty great at filling your hand with stuff, and also just kind of bridging the mid to late game. Oracle Moldai is a new card this season I'm really excited to try. In the sort of ways, it's all your big stuff's 6, 7, 8, whatever. So you really just want to get to the Oracle part and just kind of start ramping really hard. So that's super fun. I really want to try this out. Colossus Sky Turtle, also just a big guy for Warstorm Surge. Really, when you have Warstorm Surge and Sphinx, you need any sort of 5-power thing. So Colossus does that. It also just has a bunch of random abilities on it. The channel stuff is pretty much uncounterable, so you can bounce a creature or you can regrow the card. It's pretty sweet. Yeah, but the sideboard is really just about kind of swerving into this weird ramp mid-range deck. So Elvish Piper, Prophet of Grufix is my personal favorite combo for something like this. The way you really want to approach, I think, the sideboarding game is having a bunch of cards that all need to be countered, because when you just have something Hypergenesis, Cascader, and Hypergenesis, that's a must counter. You have to counter or you'll lose the game, more likely than not. But when you shove in Elvish Vipers and Prophets, all of a sudden you're playing this really weird ramp. This will just start plopping down creatures. So everything has to be a must counter. So that's really fun. Mercurial Chemistry is another fun one I'm trying with Prophet. There's actually not really good card drawing creatures, honestly, in these colors. I think the best thing I found was Pondering Mage. It's not even that good. So I'm gonna try out Chemistry. It actually should be really fun with Prophet, just in drawing cards, and has another random ability of killing creatures or something. That could be fun. Cragcave Bailout. This is another old old school tech when people were playing a bunch of counter spells. I was bringing in Gaia's Revenges, but the Bailout here is way better at doing all the things I want to do. Um, Dead Gone. Mostly this is for Merfolk. There's a certain Merfolk card, Mistcaller, which is super annoying. So you need to kill that like on the spot. It's funny, like most like Storm hate is like in creature form is like other Storm candidates, but like if you have a Charlotte's Agent, it's already an artifact that you're casting off for the candidates sort of trigger. So if you cast the Charlotte's Agent and cascade Hypergenesis, you still get to do it through a candidates, which is really funny. But yeah, Dagon is mostly for Mistcaller. And just other like random small creatures. I could also play like Slag Storm, that could be not bad, but I'm not really sure. Also Foundation Breaker, last but not least. Just a pesky thing to get rid of artifacts or enchantments. So it's a 4 mana spell that costs 2 mana. And that's kind of another big deal when you're trying to cascade into these sort of things. That's why Turtle is so great too. It's a 7 mana spell that has like smaller casting costs. But yeah, I'm really excited to try this deck. This season I'm 9-1 with Hypergenesis and like the very limited testing I've done, but this version's brand new, the Oracle version, so I'm really excited to try it. I'm gonna play in a tournament today, so it's gonna be streamed on Twitch, twitch.tv/j_mecha. The link is in the description below, so if you're not following the stream, you can watch me live there when I go live, usually on Thursdays, but sometimes I go live other days. Sometimes, I don't know. But yeah, let's follow on and see what happens today. Sand almost kills. Any other like creature will kill. It's not bad. I'll keep. I need a land too, so I have a lot of time, depending on what my opponent is playing. Turn 1 Maraudin's Core. I love it. Maraudin's Core, charge it up. Just like the good old days. Oh god. I'm gonna get himmed here, it's gonna be over. Okay, if I get himmed, then I probably want to get the land in play. Probably want to get this land into play for maximum colors. Alright. Yep. That's not good. I lost the elf there. More like the land too. So this is gonna get really bad because the next card was like unplayable. So the third card, I better just hit a bunch of lands. Sure. Okay. Well, the sand will kill. It will kill. We need a bunch of stuff. It's not playing. Okay. Hey, what's up, Roberto? I mean, the best threat to victory is a blue source and then like a Charlotte's Agent. So, just kind of here with the cat. All right, this is not bad. This is not the worst. Okay, need to land there. Now it's not good. All right, the old 2-turn clock arena. Well, that's pretty much game. That was good him. Yeah, I didn't even draw any lands. That's kind of wild. My draw was just really bad there. I just did not hit the 4th land. Even if I had like nothing happen to me, I would have just sat here doing nothing. So unfortunate. Alright, Mono Black. Mono Black is a goofy matchup where it's just like a big mid-range match where I don't know if like I should probably keep the combo in, but I feel like Sky Turtle could be I think this guy's gonna be pretty good. Probably gonna want like Chemisters. I don't know if they're gonna play like Memora's side on me. So I don't know if I need to be pipering. This is the bad part about losing the first game. Whereas you can't really anticipate what they're gonna do. Because like you get the game 3 to play with, so you just like win a bunch of game 1s. I'm gonna play the Prophet and the Chemister, and I probably will just like shave a bit of this. I'll shave it like an Oracle seems really good. I don't know. Oh, I'll just cut an Oracle and see what happens. Am I going to MegaCon? No. I didn't get a ticket, so I've never really been interested in Megaton, honestly. Hello, Gray Armor. How are you? Alright. Well, this is a mulligan. I need a bunch of lands. This is basically a mulligan with the Hypergenesis, so it's like, it's really a 6-card hand, so if you don't look at this hand, it's not terrible. The turtle can, like, get back some stuff, I guess. I'm gonna keep. This is kind of an awkward. I don't like mulliganing against, like, a him deck. So this is, like, about as okay as I'm gonna get, I think. This is, like, kind of like the awkwardly bad matchup. But I'm gonna keep this one. Because the Hypergenesis is basically a multi 6 anyway. Hey, I can make a 5, a 6/5. Maybe that's enough. Alright. I'm gonna bottom this. My land situation is pretty decent. Alright, Dreadfuge. That's a whiff. Love to see it. That would never hit me anyway. In any situation. That would never hit unless you had to cleave that, so... And no, that this card hits, like, raw Dreadfuge does not hit my deck. Alright, turn to him right on time. Oh, the core! Not the core. I can bring back the core with the turtle, but then I lose the turtle, of course. That might be the play. That could be the play, honestly. Or just wait for a land. If I just draw a land, I'm just gonna get... I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna cascade here. Okay. I kind of want to get the land with this. I have a lot of time. No. Wait. Hold on. Okay, now that they have timer it, maybe I do want the land. I don't know. Maybe I just wait. I think I could just wait. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. Alright, well, it worked out. Alright. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna hold the Blubbered Elf in case I draw another land here and draw another random uncastable. They have one card left in their hand. It can't be that good, right? It'd have to be like... Um... I'll play the Hellkite out. They play like a Demigod, I get to kill it with the Bogard Hellkite. Okay. Yeah, maybe. It has haste at least. Okay, 2, 3. They probably have like a removal spell in their hand. Just killing this because it trades with the elf. Alright, they're gonna eat. Oh, they had a land. That was their last card in their hand. Okay. This is a lot of stuff, so I mean, they need a bunch of cards to deal with just this. Alright, cool. Well, my opponent mulled a 4, so that kind of helped. I gotta lie, that did help a bit. I think I'm fine with all this. Maybe I want more Altered Egos and Warstorm Surges on the draw. But you think I can just copy their stuff and kind of block or whatever. If I could ever assemble Prophet, Chemister, the game should be over. I feel like the game should be wildly over. Just all the X30s. All the 5 mana X30s. Ooh, Jimmy. Oh, Marcus Smart's playing? Big game tonight in the NBA semifinals. I just have to root for the Mavs though. It's kind of like the least the least hateable team here. The opponent's taking every time they can here. They just weren't really sure what's going on. I'm gonna keep this hand. Again, I could get him though. That's gonna suck, but it's always gonna suck. Was Prophet Creepers in the deck? Just wait. Okay. I'll put that on top. It's something to do if I have to actually. It's 10 damage here with the Hypergenesis. All right, hit me, date. Hit me. All right, good, 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 good. I love to see that. Okay. That's fine, I guess. I don't know. I can just draw more lands. Another land will be fine here. Okay. Any land will do at this point. No, any untapped land will do. I mean, let me rephrase that. Like, I'm probably gonna draw a tap land here. Oh, they're getting in. Oh, I love to see that. You love to see this. Okay. Okay, that works too. Oh my god, I'm gonna play so many idiotic permanents in a second. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna drop the Oracle first. The Bloodbraid Elf on top. Okay, I will play Mercurial Chemister. Oh wow, their hand was really bad. Okay, we'll play Bulgard and Hellkite. Okay, they have a demigod. This is oh no. Okay, well, I'm gonna copy the Hellkite. I can shoot one demigod here. The chemister here can they should have held that. You don't have to put everything in the field. Hmm. Actually, I could shoot both the Hellkites. Yeah. I could just shoot their team here. Okay. I could use the Bloodbraid Elf here to actually kill the chemister, but I'll probably end up drawing a bunch of cards. That's so funny. The hand did not seem very great, and somehow I just kept drawing Charlotte's Agent, so that worked out pretty well. Alright, another round with the Hypergenesis list, playing against also former PD 500 champion. This is a mulligan on multiple reasons. One, I only have 2 lands, I don't have any Cascaders, and I have a Hypergenesis in my hand. So, big old mulligan here. I might as well go to 5, because I don't have any lands. This hand is fine-ish. I do have the Behold here, so I'm going to keep. I have to get rid of the Oracle. This is kind of... Its hand needs a lot of help, though. Forgotten Cave. Are they also cycling? If they're cycling, this is a great matchup, I think. Okay, so all I need to do is find a thing. Find a Charlotte's Agent or whatever. They can think I'm Storm because I played the Temple here, but I would never play that in Storm. Alright, a lot of options here. This is actually a hard choice. I could like turn 2 Foretell. I think I'm gonna play the Temple because if I find Charlotte's Agent, I think I might just go for it here. Okay. I might just like put down 2 5/5s and just try to kill my opponent. I think that's like the best idea. Like, it's not like a guaranteed kill, but it's pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna hyper. Alright, time to cascade. Good mold of 5. Well, again, it's not like a guaranteed kill here. Start with the Bivouac. Alright, I'll play a Hellkite. I'll play another Hellkite. The question is, do I want to kill the Stranded Healer? I think the answer is yes. It actually will, like, gain a bunch of life here. But, like, this is a big Air Force. They don't really have enough, like, stuff to kill it with. They can gain 3 life here. It's not a big deal. But yeah, this is like a 2... Maybe like a 3-turn clock, maybe. Like, a Flare could, like, keep them in the game for a little bit if they get a lot of, like, good cycling cards in. Right? It does take 3 cyclings to kill all this, so, I mean, this is why it's not the greatest hit here. But they have to hit it each time. I mean, they could have it each time. Okay, they're gonna flare the dragon, which is totally fine. Well, that was a good draw. This is why I played Altered Ego now. So I can copy my dragons that are already in play. Alright. And now, it looks to be pretty okay here. They're looking for another flare, basically, to try to kill a dragon. It's literally the only out. They draw it? Okay, then... That should be game. I guess they could play a land drop here. They can't activate the rift, so they could draw a land and a flare. But if they didn't have the land already, they wouldn't make this play, so they probably have the land already. Okay, now they're just dead. Alright, cool. So I would just resolve this real quick. Just make sure. Alright, so usually in a white sideboard, they try to play like Orm's Chant for like storm things like this. So it might be fine to just have like a pivot plan here of like what I usually do is just try to play a super mid range game. I don't know if that's good enough though against like a deck like a deck like this. So I could try to ramp the like Balos, which is not like super great because they play a bunch of the guys that block, guys that make guys to block. I could just do nothing. Maybe some foundation breakers for like to kill some rifts. Rifts are kind of annoying, but not really necessary. I kind of want to stay mostly on the Hypergenesis plan this time around than the sort of like mid-range plan. But I mean, an Orange Chant's really annoying. But the cool thing Orange Chant is that like I don't have to cast a spell I cast get into, or nor that could I really. So yeah, let's just shave this. Actually, I'll shave a Sky Turtle. I think it's fine. So yeah, I'm gonna keep it very light this time around. This is a good hand. I can keep. If I draw a third land, I'm just kind of going for it. Well, it has to be a green land now because I have the agent. That's their best start, I think. Just Flourishing Fox into, like, some sort of aggressive plan. Alright, I found the temple. That's good. Just don't want an untapped land. I'm gonna bottom this. I think I just want an untapped land at this point. They just, like, leave their shields down by AKA, like, untapping the white source. I'm just gonna go for it. Okay, good old Oracle. Sure, there it is. Okay. Hey, how's it going? Still Kiki. Okay, they're keeping the white up. I mean, it's a pretty clear-cut plan on what they got going on. I mean, I'm gonna make them have it here, so... Again, I don't have to cast the Cascade spell. I don't have to cast the spell. Even if they have the Orm's Chant. It's totally fine. No. So it just stays in my deck. And now I have a blocker for this thing. And I have another Cascade spell, so I'm totally okay with this. They kind of need, like, 8 Orm's Chants. I mean, I don't need to die. They hold, though. That's pretty good. Alright, easy block for me. Alright, I could die next turn, which is really scary. Oh, that's the bottom. Oh, I forgot the foretell. No. I forgot the foretell there. That's annoying. Okay, now this time with the second Orm's Chant. Well, it's not even a big deal. I can still block this guy, so we'll see. We'll see what happens here. Luckily, all my Cascade spells are creatures, so I can still continually block this Flourishing Fox. Okay. I have 2 blockers now. It's pretty great. If they had it already, they would have casted it, so I couldn't cast this, so... We'll see what happens. Alright, I'll play an Oracle of Moldiah. Ooh, I've had a Warstorm Surge on top. That's funny. I'll play another Oracle. Okay, I will play this Bluegarden Hellkite. Okay, Alter Ego copying this. I'm gonna hold the Bloodbraid Elf so I can cascade into the Warstorm Surge here. I think that's the right play. Okay, so they can cycle 1 card. They can pump everything. I could just kill this Fox, I think. I think the answer is like 8. Okay, 5 here. I think it's like 8-2, honestly. Well, I kind of want to kill this thing. If this is like a 1... I kind of want to kill this, though. If they just have like a 2-2, it's kind of whatever, so... I want to definitely kill this, so I think this is my plan. Okay, they didn't have anything. Wow, so I missed. I just like missed a point of damage there. Okay, I still could just get flared though, which is the funniest part. I could just like do all this and get flared. It's not even a lethal attack next turn, I don't think. Well, if I play the Bloodbraid Elf, then it will be lethal. So yeah, just untap flare me. Just do it. Awesome. Alright. Alright, so they are playing Orm's Chants. I don't think it's a big deal to grind through them. So I think I just want to like stay fast. Maybe I could play... Actually, I probably do want to play all the Sky Turtles. I don't think Rift is like a big deal. Unless they play Rule of Law. That'd be really funny if they played Rule of Law. So maybe I do want to keep the breakers. I could play Dead Gone. Actually, I want to play some Dead Gones. They could bounce like an Elf or whatever. I've got some Oracles here. They're not like this matchup's more about speed than like kind of mid-rangey stuff. Unfortunately, it's like they have such inevitability with the flares, so I think I have to just go really fast here or try to like stall them up enough. I don't know if people are playing even Rule of Law, but I do need to have an out to it. It is a white card that could be played, so I do have to be afraid of it. Like I said, the Orm's chance are not like a big deal. I can just grind through that, as you kind of saw there. A mulligan. This is a better hand. I can keep. This is actually a kill, but all I need is a land basically. So I'm gonna get rid of this land because this is just a turn 3 kill already. So I just need to find another untapped land. All right, bottom. It's kind of scary to like get rid of everything, but like the land is like the one card I could draw like a third of my deck from. Okay, that's the worst draw I could have. That's a bottom. Again, I need to find a land. This is easily the worst draw of my deck. Okay. The other scary part about this is that a single like orange chance gonna kill me here. Okay. Another Charlie's gonna be nice. I'm gonna take this land just because I'm gonna need a little bit more manipulation here. I'm gonna need to find another Cascader, so that land can find the next Cascader. Also, I could have played like a Prophet of Crucifix, maybe. It's a super slow pin, but I could like flash in the Cascaders. So see if I have Bloodbraid Elf on top. When another agent, this is great. Okay, so I'm gonna go for it. They may have a bunch of like Orm's Chancer Harem now. Oh wait, this shuffles though. Oh, this is not good. Wait, I should have done this after. Oh, I always do this all the time, where I scry before because it just like reveals all these cards. So I kind of do that. I do that all. I always do that in the worst timing. That's a bad play. Maybe we'll just draw the thing. It's a very similar setup from last game where they're just gonna hold this 1 mana. But this time I have the kill. I have like a literal kill, a cascade, and it resolves. They're gonna represent Orange Chant every time, so I'm just gonna play right into it. I don't think I really have a choice. Okay, well, I think I'm dead. It's unfortunate. Which is sad, because I think it's a really plus matchup. It just depends on like what kind of hate they have in their sideboard. Like if their Storm hate's like Canonist, then that doesn't do anything. But if their Storm hate is like Orm's Chance one of the harder cards to deal with. I've had the gauntlet of like bad cards to deal with, so I just have to get a little lucky now. I can't die to just the Fox. And they, unless they didn't have a land drop to play, now they don't die to Flare, so they hold the white, they just kind of bluff Orm's Chant, they could have it. Yeah, they don't have it. They don't have it. I need to draw the thing anyway, I don't even have the thing in my hand. Okay, so if I draw a Shardless Agent, okay, never mind. Shardless Agent would get around this, but because I have played an artifact spell into a regular spell, so oh well. All right, round 3. It's the Hypergenesis list. I'm gonna keep my opponent. I think my opponent is playing Blue-White Control. We just kind of peaked their last match, so this is kind of a tough one. Game 1. We'll see how it goes. I can decide try my sideboard plan out. But in any case, I just try to jam game 1. Keep that on top because I need the red source here. My Cascade isn't very good either. Anyways, I really just Magister Sphinx. So I might just have to like play this in the 3rd turn. I guess if they tap out too or play a tap land, I mean, this might be enough. I don't know. Alright. I'm gonna play it slow, because my hand's not very good. I'm gonna keep that card. But just gonna jam the Oracle and see what happens. They might even know what kind of deck I'm playing. Oracle here lets me get the ramp if it resolves. I have another land in my hand. Alright, love it. Also just kind of gets rid of like random counterspells in their hand. If they feel frisky and they tap out, I could just get to play something here. Danik. Great. So especially a deck with full of rats, I want to just like kill them in one shot, so I'm gonna keep jamming this Oracle. Okay. Oh, I should have played the land. I didn't know what I was doing. It's my fault. That's my fault. Because now they have like, if I run this out and I have 2 lands on top, it's gonna be really stupid. I'm gonna look really dumb here. Oh, they're tapping out. Cool. Unfortunately, it's not really an amazing hypergenesis here. I could take him to 10, but it's like, what's really the point? And they have the timely, so they're really at 16. Gotta make sure all the other people are playing. This is kind of tough. So it's just I can't. See, if I just played my land to turn to 4, I could have like. No, I couldn't really do that. I think I'm gonna play out the Oracle here, just because like my Cascade is not very strong. All right. Did I play a land drop yet? Yeah, I played the island, so it's my second land drop. So I'm gonna bottom this. Okay. They're gonna figure out really quick what I'm playing too, by the way. Once like the Oracle's kind of unraveled. They have lose focus. Okay, we're both kind of just like future sighting. Okay, I have a Warstorm Surge. Alright, I'm gonna foretell this. Do you think they have Condemn in their deck? I think they might, so I'm not gonna attack. It's so awkward. It's an awkward scenario here. They Factor Fiction, so they have Loose Focus in their hand, Factor Fiction on top. So take this. I just have to start jamming here. Alright. We Behold the Multiverse. I like all these cards. Top. Actually, this character's not super great here. So I'm actually gonna bottom this. Try to find like... Actually, this character would have killed. Because it's another random thing. So maybe I should have just kept that. Alright, Temple. I'm gonna bottom this. I already have a Cascader. So technically this is a kill. At least I can play for a gigantic loose focus here. Alright. Another loose focus is kind of annoying. I'll probably do something like this. Because this way the loose focus is not like super good. The Oracle is actually doing really great against loose focus, where I just like I'm getting a bunch of getting a bunch of lands in play. Okay. So they can only replicate once, so I could definitely pay for that. I don't know what happened there. Did they draw the memory lapse? Okay, I'm gonna try to kill them now. I think this will work out, I think. I guess I could lapse the Hypergenesis here. I think they have a lapse in hand, a lose focus. Or just like double. That's fine. Okay. They have another lapse here. And conveniently, they put the Hypergenesis right on top. This kills kind of no matter what. They have another Hypergenesis on top. Alright. As long as they put the triggers on the stack correctly. Alright, so Warstorm Surge trigger. You want the Sphinx to come on the stack first, so they take 10 immediately. I guess they get Elixir, which is kind of annoying, so they can go up to 5. Alright, so, but I have double Warstorm Surge in play, so... Okay, so they could put this on the... They could trigger that, so that's kind of good. Okay. So they go to 5 here, but then the Blood Red Elf will kill them. So... Oh, man. It didn't matter. It still didn't matter. And I get to attack for 5, so... It was all good, no matter what. Kinda got to choke their mana a bit. Stealing game 1's pretty good. And now they're gonna have this, like, anti-combo plan, so now I just get to, like, board out a ton of the combo pieces, so Bloodbird Elf comes out. All, like, the Sphinxes come out. All the Warstorm Surges come out. And here come the idiots. So, Prophets coming in. Chemisters coming in. The Bailouts are coming in. The Pipers. Send in the Clowns. I can keep in Bloodred Elf. It doesn't really do much, though. Or maybe, like, Surges. I can keep Surges in. They don't really do much. I'll keep in, like, a couple of Bloodred Elves. I can actually bring in Foundation Breaker. They'd shown, like, Future Sight, so maybe I want some of this. Alright, let's just get weird with this. And I still get the Charlotte's Agent into Hypergenesis, which is still pretty fun. So yeah, I get the Piper and the Crew Fix, man. That's all I want. That's all I want here. Easy mulligan here, and only one land here. I might just go to 5. This hand I will keep. Yeah, I'll get rid of all the big guys. Keep the Charlotte's Agent. I'm just assuming the first spell's gonna get countered, so... Ooh, Oracle's nice. Yeah, charge it up! Charge up the core! Adored Pouncer. You love to see it. Why is Adored Pouncer here? Do you think they have Orm's Chant? My hand's not even good for this. Okay, I guess I'm gonna go for it. If they have Orm's Chant, this is pretty great. Why do they have a Dorn Pouncer in their deck? Okay. They could Wrath me here. It could be... Oh, they have a Nezahal. Should I just copy the Nezahal? I could kill the Nezahal. Okay, let me put the Oracle in. Let me see what they play. We'll play a Piper. I think I'm gonna kill the Nezahal. Okay. If they discard their whole hand for this, I'm totally fine with it. If they dump their hand for this, I'm like super fine with it. Okay, they're doing it. I love it. Alright, and I get to play a land. And I got Sky Turtle on top. Oh, it's over. I just bounced an Nezahal. I have one more charge counter on this thing. I don't think it really matters. Like, I could just block this thing. I can't deal with all my flyers. This thing doesn't fly. I have a Sky Turtle on top. Okay, they get the final land. Okay, found another Oracle. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna bounce this guy. Alright, tag with everyone. Hopefully they don't draw a Wrath here. Be really sad if they had a Wrath. Really sad they kept Wrath in their deck. That'd be crazy if they had Wrath in their deck still. Alright. Well, I mean the Cyber plan wasn't like super necessary, but they just kind of tapped out and I played a turn 3 Hypergenesis, so that's how it goes. Alright, round 4. I think my opponent's playing Mono Blue. Another tough matchup. It's not had the greatest run today, but we'll see. I'm gonna mulligan his hand. This basically is a mulligan already with Hypergenesis in my hand. My hand's not been super great. This hand's fine. I can keep. Kind of lacks like win conditions here, but might just like actually bin the Warstorm Surge just to have more looks at this. But yeah, 4 tap lands not super great against like the Delver deck. I'm not sure if they're playing Dreadnought or just regular Delver. I'm not actually sure yet. Okay, do another land. I'm gonna keep this just to have like an untapped land for turn 4. Even though I have like no way of like actually doing anything good with Hypergenesis. Blind flip into Ops. You'll have to see it. They probe me, so they maybe know what's going on. Alright. No turn 2 Dreadnought, so maybe it's not a Dreadnought deck. I don't know. Probably is Dreadnought deck. It's probably just a better Delver deck than just regular Delver. Again, I don't even know sure why you play regular Delver with just Dreadnought. I guess you could play like Fairy Vandal. Alright. Take that one. Alright, I'm playing the Temple of Mystery here. Trying to find anything. Agent's not bad, but I actually need something to kill them with, so I'm gonna bottom this. This is a matchup which I had Bound Determined for. It's just a way better card for matchups like this. I'm just gonna start jamming no matter what I have. I have the Hellkite. The Hellkite's almost enough, but maybe not. Because if they plop in a bunch of like Tempest Shins, it's like a single Hellkite's not really gonna win here. I should have played the Temple. I wasn't gonna really do this. I'll just pass. I'll give myself like one more turn, but I should have just thought about it before playing the land. Sorry, just... They probe me again. Continually see that I don't have anything in my hand. Wow, that's a lot of lands. Okay, I'll keep that on top. And well, I guess I'm gonna do this. I can totally die to this, too. This isn't like... Okay. Oh, I played an agent. Okay. Again, I did the same thing where I scribed before I Hypergenesis. It's so stupid. I'm supposed to do that after the fact. Why do I do that every time? Sure. Why do they do that every time? Still not really sure if they're playing Dreadnoughts yet. It's gonna affect my cyber play quite a bit. We're actually at 13. Maybe the beatdown plan's like not super bad here. Like, if I resolve this Blood Red Elf and they just like counter the Hypergenesis, I'm still like attacking for 8. So they have to actually have to think about whether they want to attack or not. Okay. I guess they have a bunch of Vapor Sags too, which is not bad. Okay, this time I'm gonna do this right. Hold the thing. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. Oh, they countered both of them. That sucks. If I played the land there, it would have been easy. That's actually really annoying. Because I just played my untap land. I could have played around that. Okay. So now I have to, like, play this. Agent doesn't really do anything. So... I don't know. I could draw a Sky Turtle, I guess. Sky Turtle is a pretty good draw here. It bounces the Insectile Aberration. And then it leads me into, like, playing this Hellkite on turn 8. I played this really bad. I played this entire game, like, really not great. Okay, I drew another agent, of course. Um, yeah, it's game. Need the Sky Turtle there. Sky Turtle's uncounterable at this point. Alright, I'm going to play the control in this matchup, so I'm going to actually keep the Blood Red Elf. It's actually pretty decent in this match. This isn't really about hypergenesis thing, as it is more just about, like, try to containing their threats. But I will still kind of, like, go nuts here. Maybe I can't play Blood Red Elf. Maybe it's like attacking with 3-2 and their 3/4s, like, not super great. I guess I just bring in everything. I think I'm just doing the full 15. Yeah, I think I am. Hmm. Get 3 cards. I really like Oracle in this matchup. I'm not sure what's better. Probably we'll have to cut an Oracle here. This is unfortunate. Maybe I'd do like 4-2. I don't know. Copying a bunch of like stuff seems really good. The Hellkite seems like a fever dream though with the Piper. I want this for like early Delver stuff, and it can bounce things. If they're playing Dreadnoughts, I want this. So it's like it's a bunch of stuff I just want. Yeah, let's try it. I wish I had a 4th turtle now. Turtle's actually really good against like just stopping all their creature stuff. And it's uncounterable. It is uncounterable. Unless they have Trick Bind, of course, but I'm gonna keep, I think. I do have a bounce spell for a thing. I can find land with a temple. Just trying to die to an early threat. That's all that matters. I think mulligan. I just want to make my land drops here. That's all I want to do. Okay. I'll probably take the first hit if it flips. If it doesn't flip, I just won't do anything about it. Okay. Cameras can shoot down things. It's so funny. Five mana, 2/3s, man. That's a whole deck here. Alright. I think they didn't shuffle this ponder, so. Yeah, it's Reality Ripple. So they are playing Dreadnought. Which means the Foundation Breakers are pretty alive-ish. Their sorcery speed, though, it's kind of not great. Alright. I'm gonna bounce this guy end of turn. They have a hexproof spell, so be it. But I don't know who really does those. Turtle. Dang, nice. Okay. Well, this is the. I'll play the land first. I don't. This is one of the sadder sort of hypergenesises, but I'll take it. If it resolves, I have Spell Pierce. Okay. Oh. I need to untap it for this profit. I need a land here for this profit. Untapped land, please. I need this profit in play. And with profit, I can evoke Foundation Breaker. We're basically in modern at this point, where I get flashing in elementals. Okay, Oracle. Oracle's a nice one. Very innocuous. Does ramp. Okay, found a prompt on top. That's not good. Alright, the 3-turn clock here from the Insectoid Aberration, though, is kind of scary. I need an untapped land pretty soon. Oh, that's literally the worst card to see on top right now. Oh, that's so brutal to see on top. Alright, I guess I'm playing Foundation Breaker. It's a May, so I'm not killing my own Carlos agent. It's not a big deal. No. Ah, what a brutal card to see on top. They probe me to see the awesome Mercurial Chemister. These are all rare. I mean, this is a rare. Do you imagine like doing Return to Ravnica draft? You open this, it's a pretty good rare in draft. It's one of those like if you go on tap with it, it's pretty awesome. Okay, found the land. I don't know if this is enough though. I need to find something else on top. I need to kill the Delver, which I really can't. I don't know what they're. Okay, they're gonna ripple my land. Just, just to really stick it into me. All right, play this. Oh, Piper on top. That didn't really matter. Even if I played the Prophet, it's like there's no way I'm blocking the Delver here. So, oh well. My Palm Rare will save me. That's a rough matchup though. Probably because they have like a short clock plus like small counters. Alright, kind of squeaked in the top 8 here. Thanks to a random drop from the undefeated person. So here we are, gonna keep playing. Like a Swift War guy who's playing cycling, I'm pretty sure. This is a kill as long as I find a cycler, so I'm gonna keep. I'm actually gonna start with I don't think I have to. I have all the lands I need, so I just need to find a Cascader. Bottom. Again, I already have to kill my hand. So I just need to find a Charlotte's Agent or a Blood Red Elf with extra land. Okay, Oracle's fun, but I don't think it's necessary. I'm actually not sure about Oracle, but the idea of it's very nice. Maybe I want just more like card drawing spells. Or maybe I want like Quicksilver Hamlets or something. Okay. Now Blood Red Elf is on the table here. Wait, I need to charge. I need to charge my core. I guess I could play Oracle and for another land. There's like shave the top of my deck. Game 1 is just a complete race to finding the thing. Alright, charge up my core. Okay. Well, I could have hit an extra land drop here. No matter what, I have a land in my hand. We found another Oracle. Maybe I'll just cast all my stuff eventually. Alright, they'll probably shoot the Oracle here. Again, I feel like I have a lot of time to set this up, so... As long as I find a Cascader on top and they don't die randomly, I think I'm okay. Okay, found a Warstorm Surge. That's not good. Oh, okay. Well, this is the way to lose these matches when you don't find a thing you need. I would say I have it like 2 turns. Maybe 2 turns. Maybe 1 turn if they just start pointing all the cycling spells. Probably don't even have another turn here. Yeah, I'm pretty much dead next turn. I know what I'm drawing too. 3, 1, 7. All right, they have to any cycling card kills here, even right now. All right, good enough. That was rough. I had a lot of draw steps to get a card out, but that wasn't the case. All right, in the case of Orm's Chant slash maybe Canonist, maybe Rule of Law. I usually try to bring in like the Foundation Breakers and maybe like Dead Gons. I don't know. I don't know if I really want Dead Gone. I think this one was like light sideboarding games where I don't really do much. I could bring in some Dead Gons. They're pretty good against like Foxes, which is like kind of like the main way I seem to die these matchups. But I have the Sky Turtle too, though, so I don't need like a million of those effects. But I think I'm still trying to like combo as hard as I can. Just looking for that one good turn. I'm fine with this. I'm kind of not. Am I fine with this hand? I'm gonna keep. I don't have like stuff to do, but bottom this. Okay. All right. Foretell with no blue card in my hand is really funny. Or I kept the island in my hand. I am drawing the wrong half, it's true. Alright, well they tapped out, so this has to be okay, right? Let's see what I draw here. If I draw another, like, Hellkite effect or something. Interesting. I'm gonna wait one more turn. I can just foretell here. If they draw, like, if they somehow draw the Worms Chant from here, it's gonna be so annoying. They're definitely trying to draw into it. They're just, well, they have to use Forgotten Cave there. Alright. I feel very, okay. Now I don't feel as bad. Hopefully I just can juice my hand up with the Behold. Behold's been great. I played with this card for a while, and it's been really good. For, like, situations like this, where you kind of like this weird mid-game. Okay, bottom both these cards. Alright, this is good enough for me. Trying to think. Oh yeah, I think this is good enough for me. Cool, I got a target for Foundation Breaker. Oh, I don't have that many targets. I'm trying to think about... I'll play this land, but... I'm trying to think about whether to keep a Cascader in my hand. And which one to keep. I'm gonna keep one in my hand, just in case. I'll get the Blood Red Elf down. Wow. Wow, their hand was really bad. Okay. Alright, 5 to this. 5 to the dome. Foundation break this. Charge this. Top that. See, that's why you keep the last guy in your hand. Yes. If they draw Orm's Chant, it's gonna be so funny, though. It'd be hilarious if they draw Orm's Chant here. Alright, they can start shooting my 2/2s. Okay, they're going dome. I guess if they go, like, cycle... No, I don't think it's really enough. Okay. I don't think it was enough that they cycled, and then Xena flared me. I don't think it's really enough. MTGO is freezing here. Is it? No, it's not. It was kind of getting wonky. I'm gonna keep this the way it is. I just want to go fast. This is a kill. I just need land, so I'm gonna keep. It's a little slow though. I would say it's a bit slow. Just the Bloodbraid Elf. Their hand's also really slow, so it's good. Ooh, Dead Gone. That's a nice one. I'm gonna bottom that. I just want lands. I want to hit 2 lands and want to get on with my life. Okay. Down for this. I'm down for a hand like this. Okay, Sky Turtle. Okay, another nice one. I'm gonna bottom that again. I just think lands are good here. I have enough answers to things now. What did they keep? Wow. Okay. The old Vantasaur. A little bit afraid of Orm's Chant now. They might have just kept an Orm's Chant hand with no white mana. Okay, we'll foretell this. Hmm. They're actually like really played that awkwardly. I don't think they have Orange Chant in their deck. The way they've been playing, now they just untap with nothing. Interesting. This would be a wild bait if they didn't have it. Okay, bottom, top. Well, I'm gonna go for it. I'm very weary though. They played, I would say, very awkwardly until now. But now they have all their ducks in a row. Okay, I guess they don't have it. I have the kill, so I guess I just don't have Orange Chant. They're going to die, by the way. This is a very good hand. I have more than enough things to kill them with. Alright. That's already death. Alright. But I had so much. That's alright. Well, I'll take it. I will take the win, and we'll keep moving. We'll keep moving on here. Alright, semifinals rematch here against Harry Foglegs. Still on the AggroSlide list, so I'm on the play this time, so it could help out. I'll keep. If I draw like a Warstorm Surge, this is kind of a kill, so I have 4 lands and a Bloodred Elf, so it's gotta be good enough. I just need to just draw stuff at this point. Okay. Okay, it's enough lands. Thank you. Even like Sphinx attack for 10 is pretty good. And I could like block with Blood Red Elf, so it's not like the worst. I just don't want to go into combat. Alright, that's good enough. That's a kill. Sphinx, a Hellkite, copy Hellkite's pretty much a kill. Let's play Windic Orange Chain. If they do, they're psychotic. No two ways around that. But yeah, game one's always a race here. Luckily, I drew the thing. Alright, here we go. Whee! It was right on top, too. Alright, the good old 3-card specialty kill. As long as I don't stack these wrong, should be okay. Hellkite first. Hellkite next. Then Sphinx, so Sphinx comes off first. I will keep that on the bottom. Charge this. Take 10. Take 5. Take 5. The only way this messes up if they had a Giant Healer here. Then they could have gone to up to 1, but I don't think I don't know. I don't think I lose from that spot. I can still just block and stuff. Or I guess I could excite. They can't even like flare me to death. Okay, so I know for a fact they're playing Orm's Chant, so I think I just want to like stall the game for a while. So I think I want the Dead Gons. I just want Foundation Breakers for just like the enchantments. I think that's it. I'm not really big on Oracle here. And I can always cut like the first Warstorm Surge. But I still really do want a combo kill, so I think I'm pretty fine with this. I don't think I want to bring like Pipers if they're really like vulnerable. So I think I just want Dead Gons for the early creatures and then just like Breakers for the Lightning Rifts. See the flare I'm just gonna lose to if the game goes that long, so I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna hope they just don't have it. I have a draw blue source here. This is really good. I have the dead gone too to kind of stall some for some time, I guess. But this is a really good hand. I just need to draw like an island or blue source. Okay. Bottom this. I just want land at this point. Okay, I'm gonna kill that immediately with the dead gone. Okay. Kind of an unfortunate draw on the island. I only have like one untapped blue source and a single island, so we'll see what happens. They might just play super passively though. Oh, they played the land instead of cycled it. Oh, I fell. And of course I drew the island, so I'm just gonna go for it. If I draw Bloodbraid Elf here, I could still like hit this. It's fine. I gotta make them have it, I think. They have 2 cards left in their hand. Their board is like nothing, so this is like a really good spot. I feel pretty good. This is why I kind of wanted the pivot plan against Orange Chant. I think I want to do that game. If they're the game 3, I might just completely pivot into dodging Orange Chants because they're gonna keep like weird hands. Or just bad hands. Alright. Bottom that. Oh, this is great. That doesn't really do anything. I'm just gonna hard cast this. If I have a Charlie, it doesn't matter, honestly. Okay. The old FTK. The old green FTK. They're gonna just die to a bunch of tutus, I feel like. I don't know. One more land, I could start casting dragons here. This is great. This is why I think I'm supposed to like pivot against Orm's Chant. Because look, I'm just like casting creatures and playing magic. Like I have a bunch of uncastles in my hand, but any land kills. And they can't like flare their way out of this, I don't think. Well, they might. I don't know. They're at 8, no, 6 cards. So they're not like dead, but untapped land is gonna do a lot of work here. Oh my gosh. So I'm just gonna wait for the flare now. If they try to flare me in response, I flash and Hellkite kill them. So I don't have to do anything. I literally have lethal on board. I don't have to do anything right now. They basically have to have double flare to stay alive, but even still. Okay, hold on. No, I just end the turn flare. I end the turn dragon, take 10. They want to gain a bunch of life, they can. Like, yeah, it's not a big deal. And then untap a flare. I just have another dragon. I don't think even if they have double flare, I don't think they cannot kill me here. Like, you could gain, like, 6. You still take, like, 10. And I still have an attack phase. Double Flare doesn't really do it. If they have Orm's Chant on my upkeep, think they could stay alive, maybe. They shot the dragon. That's a great sign. You still take 10. So you need another flare here. Okay, they're gonna flare again. Okay. Unfortunately, I have another dragon in my hand. Oh, just like we drew it up. Alright. Just like we drew it up. Just play 8 lands. Play all that. Alright, on to the finals. Got the run back too. I always love to see that happen. Alright, made the finals here. Another rematch against the Mono Blue Dreadnought deck. See how it goes. I'm gonna keep, although my hand's really bad against, in terms of like setting up something, it's not really a great thing. I've double Altered Ego and nothing to copy with. I mean, I guess I copy Charlotte's Agent, but so I'll bottom that one. It's just a clone. It's just a clone that can't be countered, but is good in sideboarded games. I've been working on this deck for like years, so it's like nothing is new. Nothing for me feels new. This is old, if anything. I'm gonna put this on top, actually. I'm gonna try to play for like a longer game here. I'm not gonna try. I don't have to jam into this. There's no threat on the board, so take a look at my hand. My hand's really bad, so. Alright, they're gonna run it out. I think they smell blood, so it's like, this is totally fine. Because I could, like, the thing is, like, they know my hand is not good enough to do this, but they didn't know what I kept on top, which was, like, actually super risky. Hmm. I'm thinking. I think I am gonna Hypergenesis here. And then, like, keep an Altered Ego, maybe? I can't copy their Dreadnought, which I kind of want to do, but I can't do it, so... So I think I will actually do this, just to get the Oracle in play. I have a Sphinx on top. Interesting. Hmm. This is very awkward, though. I'm not gonna lie, it's not super great. Don't do it now. Well, the clock is ticking here. I wasn't gonna draw into anything good anyway. Well, I guess I didn't really know until I, like, Hypergenesis, right? So, like, the other idea is to, like, let this come off, take 13, then double copy a Dreadnought or something like that. It just, the problem is that, like, they untap and I just get, like, loose focused, right? At least, like, this resolves, maybe. At least now I can just, like, copy 12/12s, but, like, I guess I could, like, copy something? I don't know. The fact that they have a 12-12 or 13-13 in play, like, there's no way I'm getting around it. I think it's like, I don't think it's like anything I can really do about it. Whether or not like doing nothing doesn't feel great. Doing nothing just means I'm like losing quicker. Not that I had anything much to draw into. I could copy this and try to eat everything out. That's not even good. If this was an untapped land, I could have actually like paid for 2 loose focuses. Interesting. They have a lapse here. Lapse is really annoying. Alright, so I'm going to gain 10. They're going to take 6. And I could attack them down to 4. I could gain 6. Okay, they have a Tempest Gen. They just waited for me. Hmm. I'm trying to think. All these flyers are super annoying. So, okay, all these flyers are really annoying. All the ground people are really annoying too. Just like sacrificing something here is really bad. I know I have nothing. They know it's on top of my deck, so it's like there's a lot of dumb information out on here already. So they can't really attack. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna just pass. I don't think the first Cascade was bad. It just puts a lot of permanents on the play in the field. Now I can just kind of like hang out. Their soft counters are not super great. I'm mostly worried about something that bounces the Magister. I could flat out trade here, but I don't think it's like really good. I could block to go to 1 and then maybe kill them. I can't really kill them on the crackback, but actually a Blubbered Elf would kill if they didn't have a counterspell. Because it just like flies over. Okay. So they want to sacrifice some things. Okay. Block. I died a Vapor Snag if I just go to 1 here, if I just block with 2. But that is kind of like my out. If I block like this, I take 9, I go to 1, I died a Vapor Snag. What if they phase out my blocker? I mean, that's fine too. I could block with all of them, but then I can't really win next turn. I'm thinking about winning the game. I would like to win the game. That's the problem. I need to draw like 2 untapped lands for even like. Yeah, I can't really like draw. The Oracle's not super great at like drawing cards. The fans of the blocker, yeah, I'm gonna die, but I'm gonna die next turn anyway. I mean, I could try to block the kill, but then I have to draw. Here's the problem. I'm not gonna like draw something. I know what I'm drawing. I'm drawing this, so it's like I can't really like play around. I guess I'm just dead. I guess I could just like also do something like just bet the farm, but that also loses the. This also loses to a phasing spell. Like 7, 9, 11. This phases the anti-phasing spell as well. It's like a 5-for-1 that doesn't even work out. I don't know. I'll just die to like any number of spells they have. Oracle showing me what I'm gonna die to is really bad. Okay. Okay. They'll just eat the other one? That's funny. Now they have vigilance. I don't know that really mattered, but there was a blood red up on top. That's so funny. Yeah, there's nothing I can do to manipulate top of my deck, so I mean we're good. Oracle Moldiah is not future sight. That's what I've been learning so far. All right, so I think I'm going for like the full 15 cards here. I think we're just gonna do it. Oracle's been less than impressive, but I actually need it here. Let's see. Yeah, I'll still keep in some Hellkites. I think it's okay. Although I don't show how good Chemister is in this matchup. Just draw cards. Drawing cards is cool. Alright, let's do the full 15. I mean, this kills Delvers. It bounces things, too. It's a bounce spell. It's never really dead. Right, let's go for it. Alright, we'll mulligan this hand. I just want to ramp. That's all I want to do. Shoot. Both Hypergenesises. Okay, this is awful. I kind of want to go to 5, but this hand's, like, not bad otherwise. It doesn't really do... I actually have to go to 5 here. This is insane. Okay, I'll keep this hand. It's not even the plan. I'll put this on top, I guess. Let's go to turn 1 Delver here. I might just... Okay. I think I'm just gonna kill this. If they turn to, like, Dreadnought, though, it's like... I think I have to, like, draw into, like, a Foundation Breaker, so let me think. I'll put this on top. I'm just gonna kill this. Whatever. I need Behold to go hard. Okay, probe me. Probe when you see the coast is clear, and then they can turn to me here. I'm fine with it. Alright. I can beat a Delver, maybe. Maybe I can beat a Delver. What I really want is more Sky Turtles. I think I really have more Sky Turtles and, like, maybe not so much of this card. In theory, I thought this card would be good, but I don't think it's... Mizium Skin! Who plays Mizium Skin? Who thought of Mizium Skin? That beats a Turtle, for sure. Another Probe. Now they have the 4th land for the Oracle Moldiah. Okay, I guess you're not really afraid of Oracle Moldiah. I can make an 0-4 to block the Insectile Aberration, but I think I'll just play this Oracle out. Okay. I can't believe I didn't counter that. Bottom, top. Alright. It's not bad. I take 6. I have to deal with this thing. That's the problem. But what am I doing to kill it? I really don't know. Other than like dead gone. I guess I could like. Oh man, that doesn't seem good. Not sure what I'm drawing into, honestly. Okay, I don't need that. So this part's sweet, at least, kind of. I don't know. Okay, Hellkite's okay, but I need like a bunch of untapped lands for that, and for them to not have any counter spells. They fired off 0 counter spells, so far I don't think they really threatened by anything I'm doing. Okay, well I could alter ego for a bunch here to copy the Jin, but then I just died to this now. Maybe I should have kept. Maybe I was supposed to keep the dead gone, shoot this, altered ego. I think I was supposed to do that. Yeah, now I'm just dead, so. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to keep the dead gone. But, like, what's the point if they had a counterspell? That's the problem. Unfortunate. This is a tough matchup. I just have to kill flyers. That's really the reasoning. That's really the thing. You can't counter this, so. But he could bounce it. There's so many things you could do this. I'm gonna copy their Jin to make my own 3/4. Actually, it's more of like a 3/7. Which is a great blocker, but not really good enough here, as I'm at 3. I think they're thinking about why I'm not conceding, because I'm definitely dead on board. The information's all out there. They've seen every card I've drawn, so they know I'm not dead, but they're trying to figure out if they can lose a game. Which the answer is no. The answer is they cannot lose this game at this point. Alright, I have a 3/7. Go. All they do is attack. If I kept the dead gone, that was like my only real chance. I should have done that. I could have just blocked forever. Unfortunate. I guess I was supposed to keep the dead gone. And then burn through 2 lands. Maybe try to win. I don't know. That's hard. Oh well. GG's. Alright, final thoughts of the Hypergenesis list. Made the finals. Not bad. I lost just like the mono blue counterspell Dreadnought deck, but that's gonna happen. That deck is very good, and finally that Dreadnought deck has a win. So I think in that matchup, maybe I need like I think maybe I just need Dosands or something. I will say that Oracle felt like it was gonna be good on paper, but really didn't work out as well as I wanted to. It did kind of help the ramping part. The ramping part post board was kind of fun. But I don't think you really need to be doing that. I think if you just stall the game, it's a bit better than just kind of like trying to hyper extend into the late game. I want the 4 Sky Turtle. I think that was like a big thing. I think this card's pretty versatile. So I definitely want to like, if I was going to do changes here, like everything else, dude, the mana base felt fine. Everything felt fine. I might want like the 4th Bivouac over like these Scrylands. If anything. I don't know. I thought the mana was fine. It didn't feel like incredibly annoying. Maybe Marauders Core could just go. I could play like just basics or something like that. Yeah, this was a bit awkward. I think I want to like change this. Go to like this. I think that's fine. Cut this for like the 4th turtle and just try to find some like other things to do in the slot. Because I definitely have enough just to kill people with. Like, these 16 cards are the bare minimum you need to kill someone with. The turtles are also pretty fine. They also combo well with Warstorm Surge, so just something needs to be done here in the mid game. I just love drawing cards, so I don't know what I could do in this spot. Like, back in the day, I would play like Cloud Blazer or something like that, but Cloud Blazer's not good in these colors. needs to be like a TEMUR card that kind of draws cards. I'm not really sure. Um, and it has to be like 4 or above because of Blood Red Elf. Behold's been great. If there's like another Behold like card, I would play. Maybe like Factor Fiction. Factor Fiction could be pretty interesting. Maybe like Deep Analysis. Deep Analysis is pretty great against him decks. So I could play something like that. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I've played like Discovery Dispersal in the past, so maybe that could like come back. Discovery Dispersal being like Surveil 2 draw card for like 5 mana. Or it's like 2 mana, but it's like a 5 mana spell. Or it's like 7. Or maybe like interaction spells, like maybe like Dead Gone. I think Foundation Breaker probably need one more of. I never really got the Mercurial Chemistry people. But I really do believe in it. I think I might play like more card drawing spells, but I think I might actually play Factor Fiction. Either like Factor Fiction or like there's like a ramp spell I could play, maybe. Maybe like Hour Promise. Hour Promise could be really sick. Like Hour Promise is just a big ramp spell. It's probably the better spell that I want out of this. Like Hour Promise just goes from like what 5 to 7, and that's like kind of the gap, the stopgap of like stuff. That'd be not bad. Either that or like Cartographer's Survey, which I think is way worse. I think I like 1 of Hour Promise, maybe like 2 Deep Analysis, and then maybe try to figure that out from there. That's interesting. It's an interesting idea, but 7 mana is like kind of like where 7 to 8 mana is where I kind of want to get to. Or maybe just play like the Deep Analysis and something else. So maybe I play like an hour here. Deep Analysis. Again, this is mostly against like him decks, which is pretty good. The question is, do I play the Chemister? The Chemister does too much here. I kind of want a third Foundation Breaker. And maybe another Bailoff? I don't really know. Maybe like one of these. And either like a third one of these, or maybe like... I don't know. I'll probably play like one more. Or I could just play like all the Deep Analyses, and then just like forget Hour of Promise. So you're thinking about cards. When you want to think about cards, you have to think about the context of cards. You can't think about cards in other contexts, if that makes any sense. So you associate this card with a card that doesn't exist in this format. So because you think that like the card is not good because of another card that doesn't exist, doesn't mean that it can be good here. In this case, this card goes from 5 to 7, which is kind of where I want to go because I have a bunch of 8 drops in my deck. So it's good because it just helps me like fix my land base and makes the ramp. It's like the late game idea of just going from like the mid game to the late game, which is like to 8 mana. But yeah, no, that's a big trap that like there's a big trap that people do when evaluating cards, is that they try to evaluate cards in a vacuum, like from like prior experiences from like different formats, but like formats are like way different from others. Like a card that's good in like modern might not be good in legacy or vice versa or something like that. Like not even like, you know what I mean? So a lot of people have that problem in like Penny Dreadful. It's like, oh, I have this card, but I don't have this card, so I can't use it. Well, no, you try to find something that's similar. I'm not saying Hour Promise is good in this deck. I'm just saying that like it has a purpose. The purpose is not to kill my opponent. It's just to like get more cards in play. Try to like cast these like uncastable cards. Do I want to play like a 1 of Black Source? Probably not. I might just play Elvish Viper main deck. Elvish Viper main deck could actually be the play. I've done that before. Actually, probably would rather do that. Like single Elvish Viper main deck and then just have this like Profit Elvish Viper plan sideboard. Maybe. I like Deep Analysis. Sort of. I sort of like this card. It's good if I get discarded. That's pretty much it. I don't know what else I can play, really. Like, maybe like commit to memory or something. I don't know. I guess the other spell I could play, I mean, no, I can't go. I can't dip into white for supply and demand. That's just like too much. It's too much. I kind of paper plane. Anyways, I thought the deck was pretty decent. I think the sideboard, if I really think that people can play blue decks more, I just probably have to play like Bound Determined, which is not a bad plan. Dead Gons were okay, not great. Maybe I could just play Bound Determines. Or maybe I just try to ramp into this. Maybe I'm just trying to ramp into Balos. Maybe that's the real plan. Just to ramp into this. Which is again why I like ramp spells. It's gonna be a 4-drop ramp spell. CMC equals 4. Oh. Search your library. CH. Land. Probably like Cartographer Survey or like. Is there like circuitous routes? Explosive vegetation is legal, obviously. Um, migration path. Migration path actually pretty sick. It's better explosive vegetation. I could just play migration path. That's actually like kind of the best of both worlds almost. I don't think I even own migration path, but mm. Yeah, maybe something like this. This is interesting. I think this is what I wanted the Oracle to do, but at least better. At least it cycles. At the very least, this cycles. So if I don't need this, then I can try to find something else. And I think that's really where I wanted to be at. So yeah, I think I'm actually okay with a card like this. All right, well, thanks everyone for watching. Like, follow, subscribe the video if you'd like. Those are my thoughts. I think Hypergenesis is great. All you have to do is just figure out a sideboard plan for mono blue, and you're good. If anything, if these are too slow, then maybe Bound Determined is the card. But other than that, I felt good about all my other matchups. Even like, beating Orm's Chance or whatever. You can just play derby guys and just like kind of go through that. So it could be okay.